Hey there, today I want to show you the collection feature in ManyTCG. Let's take a look. If you go to My Stuff, click on Collection, it'll bring you to the collection page. You can see right now I don't have any entries. Let's change that. If you click on these three dots here and select Import Collection, it'll allow you to choose a file for upload. ManyTCG has its own file format, but you can also import collections from Architect or Moxfield. Choosing a file, I'll select this one. We see it was successful. I can close the modal, do a refresh, and there we go. We can see the entries have been imported. This might look like a bit much, but let's just take a look at the first line. We can see here the card name, the number, the set, along with how many printings I have, the purchase price and market price for the entries. If I want to modify an entry, I can click on the card name. It's going to show to me all the collection entries I have for this card. I can modify the collection entry. Maybe I want to add some notes, save it. I can delete an entry. I can add a new entry, and even change the printing. Going back to the collection page, let's take a look at some of the filters. We can filter the collection by the TCG, by the language, or even by the set that the card is in. We can filter the collection entries by the condition, the printing. We can search by card name, and we can even sort the collection by a variety of things. If you don't like the list view, you can view collections as a gallery by clicking here. I like this gallery view a lot when I'm looking at all the cards for a set. Let's go to one of the new MTG sets. Here I can see these are all the cards I own for TDM. But let's say I want to look at all the cards for TDM. I can select this All Cards option. Pretty sweet. We can see here the cards that I don't own are dimmed out, but the ones I do own are full brightness. We can adjust that dimming setting right here. If I want it to be a bit darker or a bit brighter, I can modify it. Also within the collection settings, we can choose if we want our collection to be private or public. If you have it set to public, you can copy the URL and send it to anyone who wants to see your collection. Saving that, we can see that the cards are now a little less dim when I look at it. I really like this view because at a quick glance I can see which cards I own and which ones I don't own for a set. We can also click Quick Add to make a quick addition. Clicking on that, I see that addition that was just made, and I can remove it again. Back to this drop down here, we can see I have the ability to export my collection, and I can also delete a collection. Let's go ahead and delete the collection. That's going to get rid of all the cards in my collection, so be careful if you do choose to delete your collection. I want to show you one more area where we can utilize collections. If I go to My Stuff, My Decks, and I open up a deck that I own cards for, let's do Ogre. We can see on this page there's a new button for Collection Tracker. I currently have it enabled. This is what it looks like when it's disabled. Re-enabling it, we can see on each line there's a little Collection Tracker icon. If you hover over it, if it's an X, it's telling you that you don't own that card currently in your collection. You can click on it to quickly add it. Something I find a bit more useful than that though is syncing the collection. So if I click on Sync Collection, it's going to open up this side drawer and it'll show me all the cards in the deck and what actions I can perform. Since I currently don't have any collection entries, I can choose to bulk create all of these collection entries and link them to this deck. Let's do that. After I've created all those entries, if I go back to the deck page, I can see this blue check mark on all of the lines for these cards. This is because I've created a collection entry and I've linked it to this deck. Pretty sweet. If I go back to my collection and refresh the page, remove the filters, we can see all of those entries. If I click on one, I'll now also see that this particular entry is linked to my Odger deck. Pretty sweet. I can also go back over to this collection tracker sync. I can unlink cards, I can link cards, or I can move cards. There is a bit of a distinction between linking and moving. Linking essentially means that you have a collection entry, but it's not currently linked to anything. So if you have a matching card in your deck, you can choose to link it. Move, on the other hand, is a bit different. Move is telling us that we have a collection entry, and it's currently linked to a different deck. By moving it, I can unlink it from that deck and link it to this deck. It might seem a little bit convoluted or confusing, but as you use it a bit more, it'll make sense. It's just like in real life if you have a card in one deck and you want to use it in another deck. It's best to move it. Or if you have two of a card, but you're not using one in a deck, it's not currently linked to a deck. That's the basic idea. I can go ahead and unlink all of these cards. And now we can see they're all in the link panel. This is because I have the collection entries, but none of them are linked anywhere. Pretty sweet. If I go back to this view, I can see that blue check mark has now changed to gray check marks for everything. Again, this is telling me that I have a collection entry, but it's not currently linked to this deck. One more very helpful feature with collections is searching for cards that are just in your collection. You can go over to the Edit Search settings on the deck page, and you can check the option Search in Collection. Let's save that. Now whenever I'm searching within the deck search page, it's only going to return results if I own that card in my collection. If I don't own it, I won't have any results returned. For example, if I type in Sol Ring, we're going to see that I do have a collection entry for Sol Ring. Pretty sweet. This is all I have for collection entries at the moment. If you would like anything added, please let me know. Or if there's a certain TCG you want the ability to import cards for that's not Magic related, please let me know. I hope you enjoy the new feature.